Hey, shalom, everyone. This is Brother Karis. I'm coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. I'd like to say thank you, everyone that supported me, that helped with the donations. But I want to show you what I had run into. So let me give you the backstory. This morning on the Covenant Awakenings show, I had explained and expressed my deep gratitude because my intent was to go out, get gas, and work with my family to get them hunkered down safely to get on over to the Atlanta area and, wait out the storm. And in doing so, I had visited a couple of gas stations after I had purchased some of the 5 gallon, portable containers, your typical red containers this morning. So right now I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit of a tour of my area, and I am located in North Tampa, Tampa Palms area. As you can see, this is the neighborhood that I'm in. And you can go over here in that area, it's BJ's. Usually BJ's will tell you that they got gas and there's no lights because they ain't got gas. And this is the typical situation. I can't do a U-turn there, so I need to go down here. My son was able to get gas from BJ's um, yesterday. Actually, no, he wasn't. He was not able to get gas. He had to go to a racetrack, and I had gone to that racetrack there, and they were out of gas this morning. But I'm going to go over here. This is BJ's. It's located off of I-75 and Bruce B. Downs. So I'm going to show you the area that I'm at, because here's the thing. As I understand and as I know, okay, so they got gas. Okay. So we'll see what type of gas they have. I think it's just regular unleaded. Yeah, I think it's only just regular unleaded. That poses a bit of a challenge. So it looks like they got a fuel tanker in there. That's good. That's good. But they have some signs on up there for their regular unleaded. Which, okay, that's good. That's a promising start. But as I've seen that the regular unleaded, that is what they are only offering. And then I'll take you on up the street to the Shell on over here. And I will go kind of up in some other areas so you can see what's happening. So the rain that you see on out here, it is raining. A band is kind of coming through the outer skirts of Milton, is coming through with precipitation. And the crazy thing is, you can kind of see the little gas. A lot of these gas stations, these gas lines, they're not trying to report them. So if you have them on your apps and things of that nature, you may only know from word of mouth, hey, they still have this, they still have that, which is fine. I have a Sam's Club membership, but my son has a BJ's, so that was interesting to see that they still had gas. Okay, we'll go over to the Shell because this morning the Shell was down, and we'll see if they have anything that's coming on up. And I see the police in the background. That was the same thing this morning. I see them coming on up. That's the same thing I saw this morning with the shell, because this has been kind of the typical scenario. Yep. So they're still posted. You'll see it right there. The police are still posted there. And this is the shell located off of I-75 and Bruce B. Downs. So we'll go kind of over here. So you'll notice in this neck of the woods, um, this is just a little bit of a test sample, of sorts. Chick-fil-A is closed up. Steak and Shake is still open. You still have out of stock stickers on the gas stations. Folks just parking to see that there's no gas. That was a marathon right there. There's the Home Depot. Folks are just hunkering down, getting their last of supplies. And then over here, 7-Eleven, same as the last 7-Eleven, just a little south of me. You know, all of the gas stations are stating, "Look, no gas." Bags are on the windshield, or excuse me, the little handles. So it is really um, the scenario of the few and far between, because what ended up happening, um, in South Tampa, the port of Tampa is where you actually have a lot of your gas for the state of Florida. A couple of weeks ago, in one of the hurricanes, there was a mixture of gas that had caused bad gas to be here within the Tampa area with BJ's and things of that nature. So that was a scare. And now today you have, really based off of these port closures, a lot of the logistics. This is kind of the perfect storm of sorts, because the logistics hasn't really been up to where it needed to be. So you just had a logistics issue with Helene, and now you had a logistics issue with um, this storm with Milton, and now you're starting to see the rains and everything else, because this is the band starting to come in. So what ends up happening, especially for those that haven't lived through a hurricane, you have your bands come through with the light showers first, and that's going to be, for a good 24 to 48 hours. This doesn't hit me until about Wednesday night. But again, what I would be contending with coming out of this um, enclave of Tampa is that I would have um, the traffic from about 301, which would be to the east, which is that way, and then I have 75 and 75. the way that Bruce B. Downs goes, it actually is parallel to 75 in some respects, because if I take this all the way down another 4 or 5 miles, that gets me over to I-75. And so from there, yeah, your gas options, they do begin to dwindle down if you've ever been here in the Tampa area. You only have a couple of gas options north of me at 56. I'm going to go to 56 and go up to 54, and then you have about 52. And yeah, really, you don't see a lot of the truckers on the road because number one, they want to get all of the high profile vehicles off the road. So you don't see any type of trucks, you don't see any delivery vehicles, none of that. That's already been stopped up. And I think they're stopping that up as of I think 7 p.m. Was the time that they're trying to do for the state. So yes, family, I really can't. Yeah, it kind of is a plan to cripple the populace. I was trying to get Red, on board with running on up, but Red was like, "No, it's gonna get bad," and the time that we should have left, was a while ago, and it it's true. That is certainly true. So you'll see certain lines for certain gas, but the gas that they may have, like they have the mobile, they're in line, but their supplies are all very limited. You may see some things on up here, and this is a gas station coming up, and there's no gas because obviously there's not a line. So there's nothing going on there. Same with That's the Walmart gas station coming up, and that's just completely shuttered. So as the rains come through, as the rains pick up, that's when the wind and everything starts to pick up. So and obviously the conditions on the ground become worse and worse. So how my day started is that as I was trying to um, work with my family, their plan was to stay, to hunker down. They're in a solid cinder block townhouse, which honestly, that is really the best scenario to be in. See, they have everything shuttered down with the windows and things of that nature. A lot of businesses have boarded up. Things are boarded up. Um, so basically, if you didn't leave, really on Monday, yeah, we're now looking at slim pickings. And Florida is kind of one of those states, that folks, especially in these conditions, they shoot first and they ask questions second. So the contingency plan had basically fallen through today as of 2:30. So I would say, thank you for those that have supported. I do definitely appreciate it. But listen, it seems as though the Most High is literally planting me here. And what I will do, I will provide updates. I'm obviously not going to be driving around like this. But while I do have internet, I am going to be reporting. See, that's the substation. That is going to be very, very valuable. So I'm now in a different county right here. This is called Pasco County. And generally, Pasco County is not going to fare as well. So we left. That was Hillsborough County. That was Tampa proper. And you'll start to kind of see how the supply chain becomes more diminished and diminished. So, the logistics, you had the port strike that just got through Friday, and now it was literally a mad rush to kind of backfill um, gas, to backfill logistics. And, really, this was the quote unquote perfect storm of sorts in terms of being able to logistically prepare. So, still have things not happening. I think folks just are parking there just to park outside the rain so they can, run into things, running to grab things. At 6 o'clock Eastern now, generally speaking, right here at Bruce B. Downs and State Road 56, this would be packed. This would be packed. And there's hardly zero cars on the road. There's literally no one on the road. And this is generally packed at 6 p.m. my time. So it looked as though those that had the means to leave Sunday and Monday, they left. And presently, as I'm speaking to you, Hurricane Milton is getting stronger. It is a category 5 right now. It's at 165 miles per hour right now, as I'm presently speaking to you. It dipped down to about 155. Most of the meteorologists, especially, I like Mr. Weatherman, so shout out to Mr. Weatherman. Milton's about to hit a hot pocket. And then with that hot pocket, it will intensify. So now they what they do, they give you the projections of what that intensity looks like based off of the projections of right now. So if it goes up to 180, if it goes up to 200, then obviously at landfall, it's going to be a very strong storm. So I'm literally kind of documenting all this for posterity sakes, because I'm going to tell you, this is not going to be the same condition. This will not be the same condition. Up here, we're kind of in the hospital. This is your Advent hospital. So you kind of see that would be kind of the closest one to me. That Advent, the hospital's there. And now I'm kind of going into this neighborhood. This is where Sam's Club is at. I was over here on Sunday morning, filling up and getting gas. So I'm actually driving around. There was some logistical coordination issues because because in reality, this is my son's car. This is my son's car. So I utilize his car because there's some mechanical issues that he has to deal with. So you have the teenagers and stuff. They're all on out here. driving about because really nothing is going on. So I'm coming into Sam's. Sam's is open, and and gas is shut. So they have the cones and everything else. So gas is shut down. So now I'm going to take you roundabout to um, 75. So you'll start to see kind of how 75 goes. I'm not going to go that long on there. I'll probably get you up to about State Road 52, and then you'll kind of see the logistical issues that are prevalent because we'll also pass a few gas stations. Um, the concern that I have is, yeah, obviously getting on the road. And here's the thing: if you don't have gas, and here's what a lot of folks, this is what's happening to a lot of folks. See, this is a racetrack over on 56. There's no pumps working. You may not see most of it because they have some things, some grass, and that's highly indicative um, of what you will be seeing over this stretch from your Naples, Fort Myers area, which is Port Charlotte, Collier counties areas, and then that goes all the way up to, see, they got the rope over there. There's the police, the warning rope. So they're roping off. So imagine if you leave Collier County, which is about, from where I'm sitting at currently, about 130 miles. Because this is exit, I think, 275. And Fort Worth, Collier is about 130, 140. Folks in Fort Myers can kind of fact check me on that one. You got your Chevron. Look, nobody's pulling in the Chevron because, you know, nothing going on there. These are folks, they're just parking their cars and getting some extra things, extra supplies. A lot of folks, they like to park their cars, um, out and about, especially at these little areas. The areas they're okay. Someone literally just got their boat and, you know, they're, they're staying over in this neck of the woods where it's like, this place is gonna get hit. Yeah, so this is Wesley Chapel proper. So this is Wesley Chapel proper. So right now, yeah, I-75 doesn't look too bad, but again, the problem is, if you are traveling out of town, if you are traveling from your, southern areas, your Southwest Florida areas, if you're trying to find gas or any type of fuel, then you're going to be in a situation, because again, as I've been saying, if you're having problems finding gas now right off the highway, and I'm telling you, it's right off the highway, and it doesn't get any better when you're going into um, these more rural areas. And see, as you have seen within the last 25, 30 minutes, I just been going north. And these are rural areas. See the rest stop that's right here. You got your trucks. Look, they just grounded themselves. Same with this rest stop coming over here. Yeah, a lot of these trucks, they're just gonna hunker down. So you still have a lot of trucks coming in, and those to me are probably the emergency supplies coming in as they go southwards. And then from there, so we're hitting towards more of this is northern Wesley Chapel proper. This is northern Wesley Chapel. So this is kind of where you're getting out of, the this is your Tampa suburbs, and then we start to head into the Tampa country. So you have some gas stations over there. I may be able to see what the Wawas is looking like. No, it's a little too far away. So I'll go on up here to about State Road 52. A lot of these areas, yeah, they're grounding. Got construction crew kind of grounded at the Crocker Barrel over off of State Road 54. So this is what you have. So again, for me, you can probably see the road sign coming on up with Ocala, kind of the next big metro area. And then once you get through, so yeah, left shoulder is open. And so right now, I'm about 30 miles south of, well, no, about 50, 51 miles south of the interstate, where the interstate kind of merges all together. So I'll give you a little bit of a, you know, topography lesson of on Tampa, because yeah, so now these are the hills. We're kind of getting into the hills on I-75, and it becomes more hilly, more hilly. So we get into a little bit of elevation. Not the greatest amount of elevation, but in terms of like a natural break of a storm surge, to me, this is where you want to be. If there's like an ungodly storm surge of like 20, 25 feet, which is still on the table, there still is a Category 5 hurricane. So yeah, that is still on the table. So a lot of the folks that you actually see on the highway right here, these to me, in my opinion, these are your locals. They did everything that they could do. They're picking up and they're going home. They're grabbing what they needed to grab. They're working on what they needed to work on. They ran and got the errands that they needed to run to, and these are now your locals. I believe that most of the folks that got out of South Florida, they did so yesterday. So see 98, which is Brooksville, and then 52 is where we're heading on out. This is where you're getting into your. We're now north of Tampa. This is now north of Tampa. See, I'm in your. This is your rural areas. These are your rural areas. And so I took you a very, very, very scenic route. But yeah, I'm only about 15, 20 minutes from the rural locations. So when they say, hey, if you just need to go inland, yeah, yeah, you can go inland from, the storm surge. But the reality is, this is all still going to be within the wind field. These little signs right here, those are all going to probably be knocked down. So there's St. Leo University. I'll kind of go over here so you can see a little bit of what I'm talking about in terms of the elevation at least, but also with the elevation, and you'll start to kind of see. Um, yeah, no, and this is I'll be right down the street from my kids, so if I need to get to them, it'll probably take me within walking about an hour. It's literally right down the street. And of course, I wouldn't walk. I'd be kind of walking slash running a bit. So I'm going to turn here. I'm heading east. Not a lot of cars heading this way. So I'm going to assume that you probably don't have what you would need to have. Okay, so they do have a line. All right, that's good. So they do have a line here. But see, I can only imagine how much supplies they'll have left. So up here, you get a little bit more of your elevation. And I'll show you kind of some elevation areas. So from this point of Tampa, or I wouldn't say Tampa, but I would say from the Gulf. So from the Gulf of Mexico at this point, we are sitting at about maybe um 30 miles inland. So we're about 30 miles inland from the Gulf of Mexico. So you have some elevation, but it's not very profound elevation. But I'll kind of show you how this elevation does start to go. If I went down this street a little bit more, there is a lot of elevation. You start to kind of get more into the hills in about another mile or two. And I'm going to show you some hills here. So we're here by San Antonio slash St. Leo, and this is kind of it's Dade City. So I'm now off of State Road, and I'm on to County Road. So these trees on out here, these trees will be affected. The good thing is, here in Florida, they do cut back a lot of the vegetation. So if you can see right here, the vegetation's kind of cut back a little bit, which this is good. But then as you see the road kind of narrow, you get more into your country isms. The trees will then start to creep up. And really, the more north you go on in Florida, and a lot of the see this is a county road, so they cut back a lot farther. But when you don't have a county road and it's just like a regular road, or something kind of off the beaten path, then you're gonna get stuck. Look at this. This is just a regular road. You got trees on over there. You got little communities kind of nestled in the background there. And now you're starting to kind of get into all the trees. These are the trees to contend with. This is going to probably be 100+ mile an hour, and this is all going to be affected. All these little homes that this is it. See, in these rural spots, they don't really have anything going on. In these rural spots, no one's pumping gas. They're just using them as the little stalls as a place to park their car. So these are the areas that get cut off. If that substation is up, this whole place messes up. These are all the little critical infrastructure areas. So um, now you're starting to see I'm coming up in the elevation. I'm coming up into the hills here in Florida. So I am just west of Dade City, and I'm coming up. This is a hill. You'll start to see some big hills on up here. Over there, you start to see elevation. Kind of start to see some rolling hills on out there, and we're gonna go down a hill. Florida really doesn't have many hills like this south of Tampa. It starts to get very, very flat, especially when you're in the Everglades. Everglades is literally at sea level. And yeah, you see the little hills all the way down there. Yeah, it starts to get real hilly around here. This is where your Dade city's at. So I'll just turn this around here at St. Leo. And then I'll go on back and I'll show you. We're about 20 minutes from Tampa proper out here. I just wanted to show you this because this has a lot of elevation. So you have here, you have Claremont. You can take 52. You can take that all the way. It'll hit some parts to get you on over to State Road 50. That's the other big one. That's where US 98's at, which is Brooksville, and you could take that literally into downtown Orlando, and that has a lot of hills. So in Central Florida, Orlando area, you don't have to worry about any storm surge, but it's still going to be a Category 2 going that far inland. That's a lot. That's very, very strong. That's very, very powerful. So if you didn't know, this is a very rural area. This is rural. This is San Antonio slash St. Leo. Okay. I may lose you all because this is the country. This is the middle of the country. Oh, it's north of Tampa. So this is Pasco County. This is actually pretty country for Pasco County. Um, due west, yeah, just straight north or straight west of me at 35 miles is the Gulf of Mexico. That's how that works. Cars are just sitting there at the shell because there's no gas. So this is San Antonio. That's kind of like your first bit of hills here in the Tampa Bay area going north. And just east of us, you actually hit um, a swamp nature preserve area called Green Swamp. And that actually kind of like, break and Orlando. So it's like a 20-mile like break of just swampland area. So yeah, this is what you have on out here. And they're still developing. So Tampa's just ever increasing. But yeah, this is all what you see. Look, um, this storm damage is going to ruin homes. It's going to ruin homes like that, carports just like that with the little uh, uh, covered open top. That's gone. And these rural areas are really, you got the trailers and stuff on out here. This will get hit. So what a lot of folks are doing, they're not trying to take any chances. They're just grabbing what they need to grab, and they're heading on out and about. So again, now as we're heading even more west, um, the it starts to flatten out a bit because we're heading straight to the water. We're going west towards the Gulf. Folks are kind of trying to grab up what they need to grab up, and really they're just praying that whatever they have that's left, that is literally the situation they're finding themselves in. Okay, let me make sure I get out of this potential traffic. Yep, so that's maybe the second or third gas station that actually had some sort of fuel. So then that's 75. Now that's 75 going north to Ocala. And now I'm going to be heading back down south to Tampa. So, yeah, it's a hunkering down situation, family. My immediate family, sons and daughters, are going to be staying and hunkering down. So I definitely appreciated your support, family. Um, but getting on out of here was not. Um, it wasn't where the Most High needed me to be, and so the intent was to leave. However, as I'm trying to find gas this morning, the gas is sporadic, few and far between. And if you can tell, what you don't see, what we haven't seen on these roads, you haven't seen any gas tankers. You haven't seen any gas tankers. And now you're seeing loads starting to come up, starting to pick up. Folks are probably working through some things. Hey, kids, let's go. We only have an hour. The Weather Channel said that this thing is now a category 5. It was a 4. Whew. But then it became a 5. Uh-oh. So this is now your northbound traffic that we see coming through with the headlights. That's your northbound traffic. Them trailers are hauling the RVs, the campers. They're getting up on out of here. The storm is a slow moving storm. It will make landfall in Tampa tomorrow night. However, the effects of the hurricane will start to hit around this time. You just saw a little bit of a light band coming through, and then the bands will become even more intense and even more powerful. So now I'm gonna head on down to Red's neck of the woods. I'm not gonna bother him, but I'm just gonna head on down so you can get an idea of how um, the things kind of unfold. Now we have a little bit more of a elevation. We're going down this hill. It's a little bit more elevation, but this is where you have a little bit more um, elevation. Not too much. A little more hills. Not too much over here in the Wesley Chapel, uh, North Tampa, New Tampa area. So I wanted to just give you all a quick update. I wanted to give you all look. Folks are leaving, and again, the reality is the gas situation is going to be that. I haven't seen any gas tankers. Fred and I were talking about that. We haven't seen any gas tankers. You got your RVs, you got your campers, you got your tractor trailers. I just saw one fuel service, just one, and that looked like that was more of a private fuel service, not your like Loves or your, other um, independent fuel service. Folks are probably coming down. So he has plywood on his truck. So he probably had to take a haul up to Brooksville, probably had to take a haul, probably up to Ocala to get plywood. This is how that goes. Yeah, folks getting their boats out of here, their little puddle skippers. Yeah, these folks are out. Okay, it looks like I got a sheriff coming through. That's Hillsborough County, yep. So he's coming through, and we're not even at Hillsborough County yet. So now I'm kind of heading back into Tampa proper. Folks are still getting their meals, they're still eating. Give me a second. Just kidding. So we're back kind of in the rain. I'm not going very fast. I'm just going the speed limit of about yeah, the storm effects won't be felt until about um probably later on tonight, probably like around midnight. But what I was trying to showcase is that there's a lot of um you don't have the logistics, and the logistics wasn't there in terms of fuel and things of that nature. And that's really to get out of Tampa. So the gas situation has been really slim pickings. I think folks, if you see them kind of, rushing down, they're probably rushing down trying to, spend time and get with their loved ones, getting whatever they needed to get, probably in the Ocala area. Because again, everything here in the Tampa area has been bad. Okay, I just saw one um, gas truck. It was a Flying J. So yeah, so your resources here, it's very, very sparse. The resources are very, very sparse. And that was going north. So it seems as though, logistically speaking, as people are pushing north, they're going to try and serve them north. So if you are staying south, yeah, your fuel is going to be probably upended. Okay, this is the first fuel truck I'm seeing that's kind of heading south. So he has a load on him. I'm right behind him. So it's like he's heading into Tampa proper. Okay, so he has some diesel. He's getting some diesel. So that's a specialized fuel truck. So that may be for like any type of generator services and things of that nature. I don't think that's your regular type of fuel per se. So yeah, no, I'll be um, loaded up. The vehicle is already loaded up. Because here's the thing, I do expect to run out of power. That's a given. I will be running out of power, but that won't be until probably sometime tomorrow afternoon. You know, the effects of the storm will be coming in. A little more tonight. So it's very gradual. Everything kind of creeps up and creeps up and creeps up. And then as it creeps up, then you get the wind gusts. And that wind gust, that will start to occur for a good 6 or 7 hours. So that's why they give you those little sticks of time, for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. So this is the prelude to the storm event. This is the storm. This is how big that this is. And the storm, I think, is about 4 or 5, or it's like 500 or 600 miles away. And then as you start to see things will start to happen, folks will start to get um, stranded on the side of the road. They're thinking that they can, get to gas, and you know, it doesn't happen because they, oh, I think I could do it, and then that wind will overtake. I've driven on the road. I remember back in 2017 with Irma. Irma was still feeling the effects, and I had to get down to the airport because the airport had just opened up. And boy, that was the most ridiculous flight out of there. After spending that evening with my uncle in that hurricane and then driving down the street and all this debris and everything else. But if you see down the street here, the trees are relatively cut back. So you would still be able to kind of negotiate, even on the highway. The issue that you'll have on the highway is you'll still just have a lot of debris. You'll have a lot of twisted signs. You'll have a lot of twisted metal. I had to go down to South Florida a couple weeks after Ian, and that's what happened. Yeah, you're definitely in MAGA country. So I had gotten the alert also, from insurance companies, from banks, and things of that nature. If you can get out, get on out. But sometimes people are stubborn, and there's a stubbornness to people. Now, my intent, I wanted to get on out. Now, I understand that the structure that my children are in, with concrete cylinder structure, that's good. They can hunker down. The problem that I have is that I'm on a third story apartment and there's no one above me except for the sky. So, yeah, in these storms, especially with the intensity of where it's going to be at, you know, it's still coming over water. I'm only about 15, 20 miles from water. So if it still stays over the bay, that's still a lot of water. That's still heat. That's still moisture. So now I'm here. This is about Lutz area slash North Tampa. Okay, North Tampa's on over there. Those are the homes. That's North Tampa. And then on this side, that's actually Lutz. So it's getting a little darker because sunset's at 7:11. But I'll be able to kind of show you some things before I hang it on up. So this is Bears. It'll show you downtown Tampa. So right now I'm on I-275. This is I-275. This will take you all the way into downtown Tampa. And if you notice, there's really nobody on here. It's 6:57. Generally speaking, at 6:57, this time of the day, it's extremely busy. And there's really like nobody on in here. It literally feels like when Tampa has when it's Christmas here in Tampa. Like nobody on the road. And honestly, they can declare that. They can declare that people hunker down and shelter in place and no one on the road, for a few, um, for a specified amount of hours, taking down the billboards and everything else. So now I'm here in North Tampa. See, that's the foreboding sign. So those gas stations are out right here. I'm going to go underneath of I-275. I'm at the Sitco. This is I-275 and Bears. And yeah, there's no gas even at Wawa. People are just parking their stuff there just to park. So, in a sense, yeah, I'm kind of stuck in a fuel desert. It's right before the hurricane. It's a fuel desert. You have the sheriff's going around, just making sure everybody's kind of, still paying attention. So, folks, I'll have, um, they've kind of shuttered on in. They're waiting. This is now the hurricane watch. Everyone's waiting. No one's really on out here. So this is Bears. This is about a couple minutes from me. I'll head down. I'll kind of show you a little bit more of, the central Tampa area. I would say central, northern Tampa area. So hopefully you all can see that because I kind of have like a black screen. I don't know what's going on with the StreamYard. So maybe you all can kind of see, hopefully. So, so you have, again, no gas. You have somebody, rolling up in the cyber truck. You'll be able to see it when you pass. Got electric. Yeah, but now folks are trying to, scurry for gas. And, this is a very populated area, especially North Tampa, New Tampa. So understand, what it is that you have here on the side streets, what it is that you have here in the cities. A lot of folks don't understand resource constraints. And when you have resource constraints and you have mouths to feed, it starts to get very, very dangerous. It's starting to get a little darker. So, yeah, gas stations all shut down. And now I'm going to be heading on over to Bruce B. Downs. And this time, this is the south side. So, this is going south towards your Tampa proper area. We got ambulances on standby. I hear them, constantly every night. Everything's shutting down. This is a ghost town. Comparatively speaking, this is a ghost town. Yeah, if you're here, you're stuck here because if you were going to leave, you should have left yesterday. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. No gas anywhere. No gas. So I want you to be able to kind of see this. And this is surprising. That's USF right there. So you have another hospital, Advent Health, and then you had Advent Health in Wesley Chapel. This is USF. That's Marathon. So and this isn't just the USF. Um, that's the campus right there for USF. And this is James A. Haley. This is the VA. You got patients up there. You got folks up there. You got veterans on up there. They brought in the portable water. Yeah, that's James A. Haley. So this is the heart of Tampa right here. You got your USF, the VA complex area, because this is Bruce B. Downs heading south. And then right what you're looking at, this is USF. You kind of see the little USF placard right there. That's USF. This is their main campus. It takes up all that. I'm just gonna go a little bit south. I'm passing Fowler. No gas. Yo, Tampa is like deserted in gas. And okay, the only one that has gas, all right, I'm coming up here. This is Wawa. I'm coming up on. And look at that. Look how crazy that is. Got to rope off the street so folks aren't going there acting crazy. So that's really for the local populace. This is really for the local populations. Got your hotels all fulled up. They're hunkering down. You got your Yingling Brewery. So yeah, so now I'm in kind of the heart of Tampa, as I like to call it. And it's still kind of light enough that you can see, in the distance. So I'll come up here to this location. You'll see Busch Gardens. So imagine all that. This is Busch Gardens. Yeah, this is the hood. I'm in the hood. This is it. Yeah, it's starting to get a little darker, but yeah. So in the back, that's Busch Gardens right there. Now, let me tell you, ain't gonna be anybody out in the streets Not in the next 24 hours. It's going to be totally different. You see all these trees here, all these things everywhere. See, they got borders, they got shutters. These are the vulnerable areas here in Tampa. There's Busch Gardens right there. I'll go down the street here because here's the thing. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't be. I am not. I would not be surprised that this would be like your Katrina 2.0 to rush people out of Florida. I would not be surprised. And this is what I'm afraid of is an unfolding preventable natural disaster to where like mobile and marathon is constrained. You've only had a handful of stations, uh, Flying J and the Wawa off of Bruceby Downs and Fowler. And that's technically 30th Street and Fowler because Bruceby Downs turns into 30th Street. So this is the same. This is 30th Street right here. I'm turning off of. This is Bush. This is Bush Boulevard. Down that way, that gets you towards 275, and then we're about maybe about 10 minutes from downtown Tampa. We're about 10 minutes from downtown Tampa. This is about North Tampa right here. And in this area right now, this is about this is your Temple Terrace. You start to get over into Temple Terrace right here. This is that green wall. That is Busch Gardens. That is your Busch Gardens at the green wall. And let me tell you, this is always usually jam packed because of Busch Gardens right there. It's always jam packed. Slow down. Slow your speed down. I'm going 40 miles an hour because it's always jam packed. Look, they got the windows and everything else. They got everything boarded. They're boarding up stuff. These folks, look, this is deadly serious. Again, Exxon, and again, no gas. They plastic wrap that gas station. Mm. This is McKinley. This is Busch Gardens. This is Busch Gardens parking right there. Got the value pond. They got the shutter door on that, and they got shutters on that. Little Mel's hot dogs. That's a staple here in Tampa. That's an icon. Mel's hot dogs. Again, at Mobile, nothing. At Exxon, nothing. They literally shut down gas for your Mobiles and your Exxons because it's generally in your hood. The only thing that they had was Wawas to service, probably in this area, a couple 100,000 people. In this area alone, yes. Yeah, there's a lot of folks. Yeah, this is your Temple Terrace coming up on 50th Street. I won't go down 50th Street. I'll go up to 56 here. These are the folks that are stuck. Okay, there's your Wawas. Wawas is out of gas. So it's not consistent. The gas here is not consistent at all. So everybody's hitting the liquor store. Got to get to the liquor store. Got to get your drink on. I'm going to turn off to here. This is now the heart of Temple Terrace. Little enclave, here in Tampa. Kind of your East Tampa. Back in the day, Temple Terrace used to be like the spot with stuff. So you have a lot of like professional buildings and stuff here, and um, then folks didn't like Temple Terrace because it was them folks, and they said, "Nah, forget Temple Terrace," and they went north, and they went up into New Tampa, and so that's where I'm at right now. It's Temple Terrace. This again is really not bad at all for Temple Terrace because it's usually a lot more traffic than this, especially off of um, Bush and 56. The ones that this does not affect, I'm just telling you, like you see a lot of your Arabs and your Middle Easterners, your Indians, and man, they don't care. It's like what storm? Inshallah. That's how they. Yeah, they got liquor but no gas, right? Right? Just silly. Just silly. So yeah, so it's starting to get dark, family. This is the best that I can do. Again, keep me in your prayers. Um, we'll see how this thing goes. I may not have been able to do a post or pre evac, but I'm praying that I can do a post evac. And again, this is what's in the line of your storms. All these. This right here is literally like your new Arabia, and that's not even any joke. You have a lot of your Arab populations that are here off of 56. You literally have like a huge behind mosque here, so they've kind of Arab gentrified it. But I'm not gonna lie, they got some really good food on down here. Because one of my little favorite restaurant spots is down the way. So yeah, so for them, look, they don't care. Look, they're out and about. It doesn't even matter. Their stores are still open. Look, the Halal Grill, fire up. What a hurricane. What a hurricane, man. They still have their smoke shops. They'll be talking about, I survived ISIS and Al Qaeda. I don't care about no hurricane. Circle K, look, they got that all wrapped up. They got it all wrapped up. No gas. I'm telling you, family, these are the vulnerable population groups. What does that remind you of? Kind of Katrina in New Orleans? Maybe just a little bit. I know folks may not have even, been alive at that time. Some of our children weren't even alive at that time. At that time, I had one daughter. Okay, so my little shawarma shop, the shawarma spot is still open. No, they closed that one. Dude, they closed it. They're like, nah, no, thank you. So now off of 56th Street, I'm actually heading back up near USF. I'm heading back up near USF. So, and this is interesting. So I want to kind of give you a little bit of a perspective on this. Um, this is Fletcher. Fletcher turns into Morris Bridge going east. Over on that side is the Hillsborough River. This has a little bit of elevation. It actually goes down. This elevation goes down. You'll kind of see it if you can see it. The elevation goes down on this side, which is north. That is a tributary, and it's also called Lettuce Lake. It's Lettuce Lake, but it's a tributary, and it filled out into a lake. All of this could get flooded. This is a floodplain. This is actually technically a flood zone. This could all get flooded. And it sits in a bowl. All these places wouldn't be able to go anywhere. Only have a couple cars there. Right here, that's all kind of a watershed area. This is all watershed. And then it clears into this is USF. Right up here, this is USF. So USF right here, that's it. The little um, water tower area in the distance. That's all USF. You got the Publix down there, the USF Publix. This is your medical professional offices, dental offices, chiropractic. You actually have um, USF student or just a student housing, student apartments, and then you have retirement community, John Knox Village over here. But yeah, but this is all USF, and that campus has been closed since yesterday. They're letting people leave. So again, if you didn't leave yesterday, you're kind of you're SOL. And that's a research. It's a medical research facility right there. But again, it's low lying. Again, all of this is low lying. You have Moffitt Research Center, Cancer Center. You have some pretty good sized buildings slash student apartments. And then you have Advent Health. You're just now on the back side of it, specialty offices and things of that nature. And then the main hospital. Then you have the Pepin Heart Center. It all kind of connects in. So you have a heart institute and things of that nature. So right now I'm back on Bruce B. Downs. Folks on out riding bikes, getting their little bit of exercise on in because, hey, it is what it is. So the storm clouds are rolling in. People are doing what they need to do, and they're going from there. So that's all I have, family. I'm getting ready to get back and hunker down and see what's happening with these weather reports. So far it's going to hit a hot pocket. It's going to intensify. I don't know how much it's going to intensify, but again, yeah, It's kind of like the ultimate okey doke. So, yeah, Red and I are here. Staying put. We appreciate your prayers, family, because most times gonna have us hunker down. The perfect storm of logistics, the perfect storm of gas not being available, not being on hand. Well, you know what? This is kind of where it is. This is kind of how it goes. Definitely something to consider for a lessons learned. But family, that's all I have on this late edition. Again, shalom, everyone. I pray that you all have a blessed evening, and I'll give you an update as as I'm able to. All right, shalom, everyone.